Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. It's Amoakwa-Boadu here. And yet again, I've come your way this Saturday to talk about African art, Black art, and everything to do with the creative industry within the Black space. So I want you all to just sit tight, invite your friends, and let's enjoy the show as usual. But this Saturday is so special. I bring you someone whom I've been looking up to for many years, and I'm so glad to bring him your way. I'll go ahead and read his bio. But before I do that, if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, hey, before I bring you so much value, which I've been doing every single Saturday, subscribe to the channel and let's get on and talk about everything creative. So share the link around, invite your friends, and let's just talk about African creativity. I'm just going to play the intro again as you do so. And I also invite a lot of friends to come your way. So for all of you who've joined us, welcome once again, and thank you so much for making time. It's Easter time, and we are in a reflective mood, and that is why we are choosing to bring this special creative on board. But let's read his bio. So today I bring you Ebenezer Akinola, and Ebenezer was born in Ibadan on the 1st of December 1968. He earned his bachelor's degree in painting from the University of Benin in 1989, coming top of his class. He started drawing as far as he could remember, and his ambition has always been to be an international artist. In his work, he elevates Black culture, engages or challenges the notion of race, gender, beauty, spirituality, identity, and contemporary African politics. Portraits and figures studies form a special part of Akinola's oeuvre. He skillfully achieves a balance of realistic and abstract passages in his work, adding further depth with smaller, finer details to accentuate areas of interest. He has received several important commissions, including portraits of former Nigerian leaders, and I'll try and pronounce these names: Nnamdi Ezekwe, Abdul Salami Abubakar, Olusegun Obasanjo, which are part of the collection of the National Gallery of Art in Nigeria. He has exhibited almost all over the world, from Nigeria to the US and to the UK. But guys, isn't that something remarkable? I'm not going to waste too much time. I'll bring you Ebenezer so that we can have a conversation about himself, his vision, his art, and his exploits in the creative industry. Great. So, Ebenezer, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm so glad to have you on here this afternoon.
Fantastic job you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's good to finally have you on here. And today we are going to break things down and have fun talking about you as a person. Because I'd love to know more about you, as my audience would love to know as well. So can you tell us a bit about yourself? Let's go all the way back. Let's go all the way back from when you were a child growing up in the creative space and what really got you hooked onto art.
Well, thank you so much, Eric.
You're welcome.
I thank you. I thank God for the opportunity. I will just paraphrase the story. I've been as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
Well, I started drawing, like you read, as far as I could. I just grew up drawing. You know, the irony was we are 6 siblings, and all of us could draw. I had my cousins. Yeah, I had my cousins around me, paternal, maternal cousins to draw. So and my father was going to be an artist. So, but the thing is that at that time, you wouldn't, you wouldn't tell your parents you wanted to be an artist because there was nothing. It was just leisure. It was just a hobby then.
A hobby, isn't it? Yes.
So I was drawing. Yeah, that was what it was. So I told my parents I wanted to be an artist. Normally now, my mother wanted me to be a doctor, and I say wrong number because
I'm not surprised.
because when I was in school, I remember my report cards then. You have to see reds there because I wouldn't read. I would just draw. I mean, everybody that knew me, the only thing I just thought life was about, as far as school was concerned, was to draw. So I kept drawing, and my other siblings, nobody wanted to pursue art. So eventually, I failed, which was natural then because I wouldn't read. I mean, I can't remember growing up. No, I would have died because never. I wasn't that serious in school. What I would do was just to draw.
That's it.
So my wife came out and I told my parents, and my mother was like, "No, you be an architect." So they changed my subject, which I had to retake. And my mother told me no drawing for 1 year.
Oh my goodness!
There was a ban on drawing. But eventually, my father stepped in so that I should do what I wanted to do. So when people ask me how did I come into art, then I didn't know anything about money. Maybe if I had, maybe I would have, maybe not. I don't really know. I didn't until I graduated before the reality dawned on me. And I know one day I like, why did I? But what will I do? So I had to just keep pushing because that was what I wanted, to do. So here I am today, doing what I love to do.
Wow, that's an amazing story, and I can identify with you on so many levels. Because in Africa, if you really want to choose art as a profession,
thank you.
I mean, you would face so many challenges. So I know you did face the challenges, all right, because everyone wants you to be, as you said, a doctor, a lawyer, an architect, an engineer. Those are the core professions that everyone sees. Oh, this is a serious person. Back in the days, if you want to be an artist, they're like, oh,
exactly.
He's not serious in life.
You're not serious.
Yeah.
My sister would. There was somebody who I can't remember then. Like, is it not to draw? Is it not to draw? What are you doing? So
that's right.
What you are not serious. People will tell me. I remember somebody told me one day I was drawing, and he said, and he looked at me, and the guy laughed sarcastically. You know what he said? He said, "busy for nothing."
What? What?
Oh
dear. So what made you keep pushing with all these resistance? What kept you going at that early age?
No, what kept me because I loved to do it. Because initially, by the time I graduated, it really actually dawned on me that why did I choose it?
That's right.
Because you realize. So I started teaching. I taught for a year. Then somebody helped me. I got to an advertising agency for a year. But it wasn't what I wanted to do. What happened was that I graduated. I left secondary school very early, before I was 15 years. Because they wanted me to. My mother wanted to rush me to be what he wanted to be. So by the time I graduated from university, which I stayed 2 years before I entered university. I think I was like 21 then.
Right.
So age, maturity. So it just dawned on me that I'm a very spiritual person. So spirituality, I started praying, and it dawned on me. Look, why not do this thing? Just give it all it would take, which has really been very helpful.
Yes.
I just decided
to just go for it. So I understand you taught in and let me get this right. I think the secondary school was Holy Child Secondary School, was it?
No, my secondary school was Loyola College.
Where you actually taught the art. You started teaching.
I'd gone to where things have changed.
Yes.
Yeah, I started teaching when I was doing youth service at Holy Child. Then I went to Burial Avenue High School in Lagos when I taught for a year.
All right.
But I wasn't just. I left. The story was funny. I just left the school without resigning. I just woke up one day like,
So I think in
and
your
so I started working at advertising. Somebody helped me,
right.
and I left the school and I left the advertising. I told them I was resigning. So everybody around me was like, "This guy is not serious,"
Exactly.
because there was
Exactly.
nobody I could explain to. Like, now, why would you leave two jobs in a row because of what?
Art, because of art. So yours is
Yeah,
quite peculiar, and I think yours is a calling.
yeah, because of that.
Yours is actually a calling. That's right. So after leaving all these prominent jobs
Well,
and starting art, how did it
mhm.
feel? What was the journey like all the way till you got to a place where art could actually feed you as a profession?
Oh, long journey. That was that. You know what? One of the things I've done. One of the things is I've gone to mentor a lot
Okay,
of students,
right.
and art feeding me was, it taught me resilience. It taught me, because it was a very long time before art school. So along
Mm,
the way, one person, what God used, spirituality is very important. I
very important. Yes.
was like all my people that finished in my class, everybody had dropped out. They're like, no, we can't do this.
Mm,
We cannot do this. So somehow God helped me. So I got in contact with somebody in the US.
hmm.
She's late now. She had a gallery in Chicago. So she invited me. And that was where I started seeing art different, you know, different, where I was coming from was different. So I had to, what was more important was
Yeah,
to make money. That time, I just had to make money.
that's
So
right.
my art that time was on how to make money. So through that, selling abroad, because I do figurative, I do representational art. At
Yes.
that time, what I discovered when I entered the scene, I remember when I left advertising, so I went to, somebody told me, one of my seniors introduced me to Mr. Laku in
Mm,
Lagos. So I went to see him. Fantastic man, but he does representational art, so figures and landscapes. But what I noticed was most of the art that was selling were more of stylized abstraction. And so at the point, so I was like, whatever it's going to take, I could do a blend of the two. But somehow when I got this woman in Chicago, so I got there and so I was able to sell. There was a time, that was 1998. I remember I was able to sell something. I know
okay,
that realization that you mean I can actually, this can be offered for this money.
that's
I know
right.
it kept on. And I remember one time when I went to New York and they told me somebody had bought my painting for a particular amount of money. I
Yes,
was like, I need to meet this person. So I
that's
got
right.
to, and I asked the person, my question was, what do you do? Because he didn't know why I was asking him the
That question,
question
yes,
that,
for him to
you mean
buy
you
for
could
that
do
amount.
this? That was what was on my mind.
Mm,
For you to buy, and by the time they sent the money to me, I was like, wow, such
wow.
things are the things that push me forward more.
Mm, mm,
So from with that Nicole Gallery, that time, it really helped me. But from the time I finished 89, I worked for 2 years till 2003 or 2007. Okay,
yes,
I was with her for a time. I was getting the money from her,
that's
but
right.
the time I was able to make money in Nigerian art, in Nigerian gallery, was 2007.
Okay,
And
okay.
I was doing the thing. It was very, very terrible. It is a story that you don't want to tell. It's not the kind of story for now.
It's not a cat. Yeah,
But it
yeah.
was that resilience that kept me. God helped me so much. Yeah, that was when I got in touch with, I think it was Signature Gallery that called
That's
me. It
it.
was 2007 that actually was able to feel so relaxed. I mean, I could consistently from Nigerian side of art, but
Of it.
that is just briefly.
Mm, mm. Let's take you back to the US, and I've got two works that I think you produced in that era. Is that true? These two pieces were part of the work that you did commercially to satisfy the market and as well as get some money as an artist. Is that the case?
Hello.
So let me repeat the question. I think the internet
Somebody I remember, one of my.
Were these two
Okay.
pieces that you had to do to commercially satisfy the market?
Yeah, these are the kind of pieces, but these are more, I think 2007, 2009 or something, this one or 2010.
Right.
If I
Yeah.
remember. But I started doing something like this because I had to.
That's it.
I remember one word that somebody used was, "Oh, your paintings are ethnic." And I'm like, "Ethnic? Okay, don't worry, I'm going to make it
Western.
the essence is to make money." So I looked at what everybody. I met a friend there. I met somebody.
Okay.
I met an artist, Amoakwa-Boadu, who really helped me so much. Who taught me a lot of things about. He's still in Chicago. I think sometimes we go to China or something. So
Right.
he really helped me so much. Introduced me.
To the market.
I was able to do. But these are the ones I did. Yeah, when I came back to Nigeria, then because the thing was like, at that time, people like coming from the background I was, now having access to US, nobody expected me to come back. So, but I came back, then I had to go back 2002,
That's right.
and I had to. By the time I came back to Nigeria, I was doing this, because at that time, what mattered to me was just to survive. So
Just to survive.
I was
Yeah.
doing the blend.
Yeah.
Like I said before, when we were talking behind, I sold that more. I was selling almost all these ones that I was doing.
Okay. Okay. And therefore from then on you had to come back to Nigeria, and then you went back into painting more traditional kind scenes. Are these the types of pieces that you produced? I know we talked back door and
Yeah.
you showed me these
No, the
powerful
story coming
pieces.
back from Nigeria, because I wanted to do.
So we're losing Femi, but definitely when he comes back to the screen, I will show you the work that he does. But his works are so powerful. He actually has powerful Nigerian stories that he tells, and we've got Ebenezer back with us now. Ebenezer, can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Great,
Now, yes,
fantastic
now
story.
I can.
So we were trying to take your journey from US back to Nigeria and the kind of artworks that you produce from then on. And the question is, are these the type of storylines that you were leading towards, the traditional type African stories?
When I came, yeah, exactly.
Right.
these are two, there are two, uh, what will I call it? Two times in my
Yeah.
life, I remember. So when I came back, one of the things when I was in US, two artists that really, I saw the work of Howard Tepnin, and
Okay.
I John Singer Sargent.
That's
My
right.
God, when I saw Singer Sargent's work, I was in a library. I was
Okay.
looking at the paintings for like 40 minutes. I was spellbound.
Mesmerized. Yeah.
Then I came to an art store and I saw, yeah, I was, and I saw um, um, Howard Teplin's work, and it was like, I am going back to paint what I want to do.
That's it.
So that was why I prayed. So I came back. I had to come back. So that was when I was. I'm like, no, this is what I want. I want to just paint figures.
Paint
If I
figures.
have
Yeah.
to be an artist, this is what I want to paint, not something that I have. So that was why I started doing this one.
And these are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pieces. I mean, look at this one, for instance. What is the main
Oh,
story you're
oh,
trying to
when it
tell?
was when I. Wow, thank you very much. That's a fantastic question. You know what happened when I came back? When 2007, I met Signature Gallery.
Okay.
And so he called me, we had a talk, blah, 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 blah. If I want to sell, blah, 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 blah. So he gave me some tips. I was doing the traditional, I'll go. What I would normally do from what I learned from our technique, you go, you have an idea in your head, then you stage it. You have to get the costumes. So I'll get the costumes. I'll go to markets. I'll carry my models to
Wow.
market, as many as I want.
Wow.
So I was doing that. Then, so it gave me, this movement thing. Mr. Aka told me about movement. So, but then, like I said, I just had to survive very well. I was making little money, but I wanted to. Then with time, the story, like when I tell people, when I was in school,
Mm.
they tell you about arts, narrative, art for art, this and that. But the thing is, when you come
The market.
to the market, it's a different thing.
That's right.
Survivor is very important at the early stages.
Yes.
So that time, I just wanted to combine things together. I combine Nigerian, like if you see the way I'll just take this dress, just tie this, tie this, tie this. I just wanted to create something, something, like the one with the yellow,
Yes.
based on what Mr. Kana discussed. He told you can't sell because you're a very fantastic artist. You can't
That's right.
just try to do something that's different. So I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. Instead of just doing the market thing, everybody could do the market thing. Why not do something? It
Yes.
gave me some ideas. So I went to develop. So over time, I started seeing like, yeah, this is more like what I want to do. The
That's right.
figures, the drapes. Like one thing, he said, man, you can paint drapes very well.
Mm-hmm.
Which, and normally I would take pictures from the back. I'll take my images because I'll go, I just love to take. Somehow I didn't know I was just taking images. I just love to take from the back and occasionally infuse the faces.
That's
And so
right.
that was why I started. So one of the things that I love the idea, the one thing that struck me, this is movement. Humans
Mm.
have always been about make movement. There is nothing static. There's always
Yeah.
movement. So I started to infuse those stories into those paintings. Then there are congregation. There is always this unity. I just wanted something very positive. And so that
Mm-hmm.
was where I started. And I realized that Nigerians, I was able to sell more. There was this acceptance now. It was
Yes.
like, so gradually I was accepted. I used to do portraits. Somehow I was living the portraits gradually because I love composition. I love to paint more people. So that is it.
That's it. And I think you do capture it so brilliantly. One theme that I can see within that is the it's like people searching for water or something. What's the idea behind that? A lot of your paintings are people carrying pots searching for
Those
water.
people.
Yeah, it's like people
That's what
just
I'm saying.
they
You see,
put the yellow.
the thing
Oh,
is, as an artist,
yes.
initially I just wanted to. If it's the ones I started with, they weren't carrying anything. It was
Yes.
just the dresses. So over
Mhm.
time, this was one of the first ones I did. They wouldn't carry anything there. They would
Okay.
just congregate. No, the
That's
one with the yellow background was that one is an earlier one.
on the right hand
But
side. Yeah.
this with the blue shirts,
Yes.
not that was later. So, but I started thinking, humans have a lot of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just create a load by myself. I'll paint. I'll just as much garbage as I can see that we
Mm.
carry. So I started infusing stories, and I wanted it to be very ethnic this time. I love that. Like this one with the blue, that was the more I started having black faces on some of them. I just was just sometimes some of the paintings they will have like stories, but
That's right.
sometimes, which is one thing I love, that sometimes they don't have to. You don't really need to have a story. You could just wake
Yes.
up, something just comes to your head. I can just infuse it.
Mm-hmm.
So I sometimes just infuse as many. I just go out, just buy anything, just see anything, take clothes, just tear it, costume the thing, just put it on.
Wow. And
So I
just
have a
paint it.
lot of costumes for this time. It was just fun to me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, what would you say is your painting style? How take us through your process? How do you actually go about you? I know you've talked about you gathering clothing, tearing some apart, and all that, but the actual painting technique itself. Do you use oil? Do you use acrylic? What's your style? What do you do?
It's oil, 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 oil. Acrylic,
I
no.
can see that.
I am a
Oil,
representational
oil all the
artist.
way through.
No, and I'm a very technical artist. Yeah, all the way through. I'm very technical. I am
Mm.
very technical. I know the names of the colors. I know the way I layer my colors. I know the way. Over time, I've developed my own technique. And what I
Yes.
do is after the drawing, I was using turpentine.
Hmm.
I wanted to have a wash. I want to have an overall idea of what I'm doing. I want to have what
Yeah.
they call. I want to. to set the tonality. As I'm starting, I don't start like, maybe just paint the face. I everything. This is what I want. So I after the drawing, I do a wash. Sometimes the wash are thicker, not too. They're almost close to. Like over time now that I've been able to develop it, sometimes it's when I lay it, it's almost close.
Mm.
So what I
Mm.
do after that lay, the first lay, then I get to use thicker paint. I don't use solvents anymore. I just begin to block in. But if you see, when I started, somehow, sometime in my period, that time I didn't know what I was. I had to make it very. I was more painstaking. I would take my time more to
Yeah.
refine. Then at a point, well, you see the one with the ram, I was
With the ram,
loose.
yeah.
I had more loose brush strokes. But
Okay.
now I don't know. I'm not the what you call it aquarealism. I don't think I have that patience. I still like to see the brush strokes, which I
Okay.
enjoy very well. I like to apply the paint a little thick, but sometimes still have a blend. And what I do is that my palette is very limited. I use primary colors basically. I use so what I do, I have reds. I can have like five. I think I have like six kind of reds,
Okay.
maybe four kind of yellow, this kind of blues. I have more of the reds than the white, but the earth tones hardly. I don't use black. I hardly. I have almost all those colors, but
You hardly use them.
basically I use three primary colors because that was what the way I've been taught in school, which I loved to
Mm.
to do.
Mm.
I just love that being technical. Like I when I'm starting, I know where I'm going because what I
Right.
do because I have to stage my paintings. I do it. I think about it overnight. I've thought about what is in my head. This is what I want. So I
Mm.
could tell. Let's say I want the models. I want you to lay down. I want you to stand. I already have. This is where I want your hand to be.
Everything
Like
picture.
it's already. This is the kind of color I want it to be dark. So I just come to just late, I can just start and just do it.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Now, I'm learning from you, and I know our viewers and our audience are also learning from you. Let's go back to the comment section and then listen to what some viewers are saying to or who has joined us. So, guys, if you've joined us, just say hello to us. Adewale Abiodun has joined us. We also have right. Maestro was laughing at the initial stage where your mom wanted you to go into medicine, and we had a good laugh at that stage. Bishop Bolu, hi Bishop. Bishop says, "Really, what you wanted is better than what they wanted for you." So I know you know Bishop already.
Yeah, that's our bishop. That's
That's
my
right.
bishop.
So thank you, Bishop. And for anyone else that's joined us, feel free to put in the comment box any questions that you want Ebenezer to answer you as well. And he'll be more than happy. If I can answer that as well, definitely I'll do that. Raji says hello. Raji Mohammed says hello. Hi, Raji. Hope you're doing well. I know that you are a
Oh,
mentor to many Nigerian artists, many of them, some of whom have
Raji, Raji.
that's right. So tell us what made you go into the area of mentorship because I mean, just reading your profile, there are major artists in Nigeria who has passed through your hands,
Yeah,
including
thank you. Like Raji
Oluwole
is one of
and
my
a few other
heroes.
people who I'm mentioning.
You know, Oluwole is a fantastic guy. Raji, fantastic. Those are my guys.
That's
What
right.
happened was I told you the story earlier that I saw Howard Stephanie's painting. Really, that when I came, I bought a magazine. I took
Mm,
sellotape, put sellotape all over. I didn't want that, so I put that magazine beside me when I came to
okay.
Nigeria. And one thing was that if Nigerians could paint like this, one of the
Mm,
paintings I saw when I was in the university was by Tyrone Geta. Tyrone Geta, we are on an excursion to ABU. Then I saw Tyrone Geta's painting, which
that's
was one
right.
of the things that was he was an expatriate from I think US to Nigeria. So one thing was that wow, Nigerians could paint like this. We could get together,
Hmm.
to paint. So I started people. One of the first person that came was Michael. He was just passing. I was using a shop, and the guy
Right.
was just dumbfounded. Was just looking like what? And the guy
Staring.
didn't go
What's the
anywhere.
magic happening
So he
here?
came in and like he wants to.
That's right.
So, at that time, I didn't want to take him because you can't just walk into my studio. And so that day, I took Michael.
Mm.
And so we stayed. So then I know, no, there is one that is very funny. There was one guy, 1998, when he
Right.
heard that an artist that traveled abroad, the guy had to trek, Tayo,
Okay.
the guy had to trek like maybe 4 kilometers to come and meet me. Like,
Oh,
he
wow.
wants to be an artist. So I had them coming in. So Raji Babatunde
Yeah.
came in. Then when I got to Ibadan, Wale, I remember the first day I saw Wale Mofemi, fantastic.
Very small,
So,
small
but the
guy
idea
in
was
the way.
if more of
Yeah.
us could do it,
Mm.
no, fantastic guy. No, no. We need to get to his story during the course of
Definitely.
this.
Definitely.
There are two people I need to talk about. Yeah, definitely. So that the more we could do it, because I saw abstraction, stylized. And,
Yes.
there is always this thing. Oh, you guys are not thinking this guy. So I'm like, let's get it because we do not understand the fundamentals. As we
Mm.
begin to do it together, So you see, there's going to be that awareness. There's going to be more understanding. You see what we are doing right now.
That's right.
Somebody showed me a painting was it this week? I'm like, what?
It's from a Nigerian.
This is stunning. So that is what people could do.
That's
Is
right.
by leverage. Yeah, Nigerians, there are a lot of them that could paint, which was
That's,
before what we could do, it wasn't like that.
yes. So there's power in leveraging and coming together as a creative force to show the world what you've got. And you took that.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We thank you so much
Yes.
for being a mentor to many Nigerian artists. And as you said, you've been paying tribute to two of them. So can you please go ahead and pay the tribute to the two of them, or they should rather be paying tribute to you?
No, it's not the one. What the people that have helped me in my journey.
Right.
I know Wale would not want me to say that. I'll go to his own story. There is this woman which I need to, Mrs. Dafinone. Dafinone.
Right.
What I love what is happening right now. What you have more is they are like okay. I went to Venice when I went to Venice last year, and I
Yes.
saw the way you have the complementary colors. You have the color wheel explain. You have the red opposite bring
That's
this
right.
blah blah blah. So eventually you see the colors have to tend. They tend towards one kind of tonality.
Mm-hmm.
It's always have to be this naturalness about the painting. There's everything that is. But what is happening now? Those things are being challenged. So when I go to
Yes.
Venice, I saw the old masters in Venice. You see, there's this. It's always the same. The darks, the dark, the dark
Exactly.
because of the complementary scheme, and some of them they use the earth tones. But then I saw Kenny Wiley's exhibition, the same
Yeah.
large scale work, and you see the
Flowers.
colors are different.
That's right.
And I was thinking, stop, the red just came red,
It
or
pops
like
in
the
your
way you've been
face.
taught.
Right.
No, red can't just come red. Red has
Mm-hmm.
to have, So the thing was just boom, blue, yellow.
Mm.
So it's challenging. And so I remember now back to my story. So Mrs. Dafinode, I know she came to me like, Ebenezer, you are a fantastic painter.
Yes.
But things change.
That's
You need to
right.
change certain things. Then Wally came in again and like, it's good to I mentored him now. He came and like, things have to change. So I had
Mm.
to. And before that time I was experimenting. I
Yes.
had to, it was in me that I wanted to change something.
That's right.
But I couldn't really lay my hands. And I remember that Finonia was like, she came down to my studio from Lagos, like, Ebenezer, I'm going to give you assignment. You have to
Wow.
change something. I'm like, I know I have.
We've lost the sound, but let's use this as an opportunity to just talk about comments that are coming in right now. So Raji said hello earlier on, and we've got Ibukum Ebenezer says hello as well. There is a comment from Imal Silva. Imal says, right, let's take Ebenezer and wait for him to come back. But Imal says, hello everyone, great conversation. So good to hear my friend Ebenezer Akinola, a true mentor to many. So these are tributes coming in, and it shows the impact that Ebenezer has had in the art community in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole. So Ayodele Soremi says, I knew you to be a dog painter. That's amazing. And let's go to Maestro Arts. Maestro Arts says, please, how did you go about exhibiting internationally? And how do you feel when it happened? So the question is, how did he get into the international art scene? And how does he feel, or how did he feel when he first got onto the international market? So we'll get Ebenezer to answer that question, but we're going to read through the questions right now, and we've got Ebenezer back. So Ebenezer, there's a question that I want us to please finish your story, what you were saying before you went off, and then we'll throw this question in. So finish up. So she came to your
Art
studio.
has to have a
That's right.
very,
She came
very
to your studio and said
compelling
you had to
narrative.
change something.
Is what we've been taught in school, but at that time it wasn't. I just I was enjoying the little money I was making. I could
Yes.
make better, and it's always believed that you make money when you are maybe older, or maybe when you die. But
Yeah.
the thing is that
For us,
so he
that's
talked
what we've
about
been
the
told.
narrative, a very compelling narrative. And when I went to Venice,
Okay, so a bit of a challenge with the sound. Technology sometimes doesn't favor us, but we will carry on with the
okay,
story.
no,
Ebenezer,
so
you can hear us now, isn't it?
okay, yes, I do.
Please carry on. Yes.
Okay, so Venice was one place. When I some my next project, the upcoming project experience that I had, because so we went to three places, we went to some other countries, and looking at some of the went to different galleries as
Yes.
opposed to the American galleries I've been.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was there, I wasn't when I was in America, I wasn't so interested in modern or contemporary. I just or maybe represent maybe experimental.
Yes.
So when I saw that the contrast between Kinde Wiley's work and the old masters really said a lot of things to me, that I mean within a space of time that things could be challenged, things could change
Exactly.
so dramatically.
Yes.
The colors could, everything could change, narrative. So the idea of narrative, the idea of a story that you
Mm.
could, because naturally I don't like to talk about my work. I do the painting,
You lose it for
and
the
the work
observer
should
to
speak for itself.
interpret.
But it's getting more interesting that you could really you could paint your experience, or you
Yeah.
could paint it, or you could really paint stories
Mm.
that are very universal, which is what I'm working on right now. Is exciting for me. But the thing is the colors.
Yes.
That's one of the things I see. The colors are not what I've been used to all my life,
That's
and
right.
I find it very exciting. So
Wow.
to so
Wow.
that's one of the things that Wally has done. Challenge you,
To explore other areas.
and that that she really when I showed her one of the walls I was working on, she just went wow. What is so
It's like this is what I've been talking
And
about.
the irony is that it's the same, yeah, the same technical ability, but
Yes.
something just changed,
Expressed
and
differently.
it made her to wow, and she was like wow, and she came back to Ibadan again, like no Ebenezer.
That's it. That's it. That's it. So we had a question come through from Maestro Arts, and we'll be picking comments as we go along. Maestro says, please, how did you go about exhibiting internationally, and how did it make you feel? I mean, when it happened. Ebenezer, are you still with us? Okay. So we are losing Ebenezer's sound, but as soon as he comes back in, I will let him join and answer this particular question. Let's go ahead and read some other comments. So Suraj Adikola Art says, it's interesting listening to your stories. I'm intrigued. Well done, bros. And then there's another one that's come from Imal Silva. Says, thank you to Eric for the good work you're doing. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You're welcome. And I'm hoping to bring more creative from the African continent or from the Black community around the world to this show so that we can talk about creativity, Black creativity. Okay. This is Michael. Michael says, what a lovely talent you have. Very impressive. Michael, hope you're doing well, bros. Great. And then there's a question from Olufemi Balaruma says, I love that submission. Just start. First for survival, and then other motivations will build the empire. That is really true, isn't it? For whatever you're doing in the creative space, just start. Do not be perturbed or do not be delayed by what people will say or what fears you have. They've not even happened anyway. So just start and then deal with each situation as it comes. So that's a really good point that you've raised, Olufemi. Right. And then we have another comment coming from Raji again. Raji says, an honor to have worked with you, Mr. Akinola Ebenezer, our Archbishop. Wow. I like that. I like that. So these are comments that have come in so far, and I'll try and get Ebenezer on, even if I have to call him so that we use just the voice, because we can't afford to lose him at this stage. So, right. Ebenezer, can you hear us? Okay, so we still haven't got Ebenezer on there, but what I will do is show some of his work whilst we wait for him to rejoin, and then I'll try and get him on board. So initially we showed these two pieces, one of the marketplace. You can see people selling goods over there, headsmen over there, and on the right-hand side, we've got children who have congregated, and he did mention that these are experimental pieces, especially the one on the right-hand side that he was experimenting with. The second piece is same children who are traveling, and he did say that people normally, or Nigerians normally, love movement. So there's that movement fluidity, and surprisingly, he actually got the turbans from the northern part of Nigeria. The northern part of Nigerians do wear a lot of turbans, and the clothing is from the southern part of Nigeria. So he just experimented with different forms. And then this was shown in a period of time when he was in the US and was just painting art for commercial purposes. So he realized that abstract realism sold a lot in the US. So he experimented with some abstract works over there. And then he had to come back to Nigeria to carry on telling the African story, which he does very brilliantly. So I'm going to try and get him back on board, and then we will carry on with the exhibition. Right. Ebenezer, can you hear us now? Okay, so Ebenezer, we've lost him, but I am going to call him live, and then we will listen to his voice. Hey, there are so many ways to speak to an artist, eh? And we will definitely be doing so.
Hello.
Hi, Ebenezer. I've got you on voice now. So if the video is failing, what we can do is just carry on with the voice. Can you still see the screen?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. What about the screen? Can you see the screen so that I can just put the visuals through, and then you can talk us through?
Okay.
Or can you join us online?
Okay, let me try.
Okay. So we're going to try again and try and get him online. But if the online fails, then definitely we will do the audio, and then I'll just project things. Okay, I can see him. I can see him. That's great.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me as well?
Okay.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes,
so
I do.
What we're going to talk about now is we had a comment actually, and I want us to go through that comment because that's an important one. So Maestro says, how did you go about exhibiting your work internationally, and how did it make you feel when it happened?
Well, the thing is, like, there are different levels of international exhibition. That is one. I started at. I was just still. I was made something which was 1998. It was just providence. God just helped me. It's a story. Like I told you, I'm spiritual. It was a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Because I thought I'd lost it, then something just happened. There was no internet, remember, at that time. And God just helped me, and I just got the opportunity to go. But but that was a survival level, as opposed to what is happening right now, which is a different level. I'll be traveling next week where I'm going to do, and this year is going to be a lot of, I'm going to be doing a lot of things which I think some of the things are with him, which I'll be doing. But I made me feel when I had that first one,
Yeah.
well, maybe I was happy, definitely you'll be happy, and I thought that was it. But with what is happening now, like what Ghanaians, by the way, Eric, you guys are
I'm
amazing.
Ghanaian, right? Hey, shout
So,
out to Ghanaian.
Ghanaians are they are
They are pushing the boundary.
so it's I know we are they are pushing the boundary. So there is a new level. I remember in Chicago then, you hear names like what was this man in Chicago, James Marshall,
Oh,
because
yes.
I was a part of by the virtue of the person that was selling for me, I was a part of the black. They were very accommodating. So we have the cultural center. I think I was there. And when I left, I remember there was a picture. Then you wouldn't hear people selling for this kind of money. It was the black art in Chicago, as far as I could remember. Wasn't even really anything. I know there are some Nigerians that they are like guys. I know Abiola was doing fantastic as a black, as an African there. But it wasn't. But you look at what is happening now. You look at the figures. Look at what the blacks are selling. But go back 15, 20 years.
It wasn't the
No,
same.
it wasn't there. It wasn't.
No.
If I tell people what they ask me, what do you do? And I'm an artist in Chicago. And some people look at me like, what? How are you going to survive?
That's right.
But things have changed. So there's a new level now. It's Africa is the future now. I think so. I think so. There is that, because there is that. Look at Ghana. Look at some other countries that have been. Look at the awareness. Maybe we have something. I think that there's something. There is this daring. The way people paint now, they just go away. And
really?
What people say is that this is not, but the thing is that everything has a way of resetting itself.
Exactly.
But you can't deny the fact that there is a newness.
There's a newness.
There's a new appreciation. Everybody's waking up, trying to. Yeah, there's something that's different.
Exactly. No, it's great. So let's go back to your pieces, because I want us to just talk through the evolution of how your work has come around. And these two powerful faces are just staring me straight in the face. What made you paint these? And talk us through this briefly, please.
Okay. Wow.
I know you don't like talking about your pieces, but there's a story behind these two.
Well, yeah. This time, by the time I got, I was doing the composition. So, being somebody I loved, portraiture is what I've always done. So I had this one. I call it the one with the blue.
Yes.
I was explore the narrative aspect, but when I did this painting, I call it Becoming. It was a story of a guy with me, and all of a sudden he started putting tattoos on his body, and he put dreads. And I called him aside. I'm like, man, this is not. People, I know I don't have a problem with you.
That's right.
But moving around like this, people will think there's something. So I call it Becoming. But when I exhibited this painting, looking at this painting. And I remember somebody called me. I can't remember his name. And he said, "This is the painting here."
Wow.
But nobody looked at the painting. Nobody wanted the painting. And Nigerian art, African art is evolving too. I think people then just wanted to put things in their house. They don't care.
Yes.
Maybe people didn't care about whatever story you want. You could have a story, but you could have a story. People, I'm not saying that people don't have story, but I don't think people just buy it and nobody. And we took the work to South Africa. Maybe. And we took the work to South Africa, and that was the bomb. And everybody loved the painting. And
wow.
I'm like, wow.
That's interesting.
So, and the other one, the man is interesting. So I started exploring larger portraits.
Yes.
Like old people's faces. And people loved it. But the one thing why I didn't go too well, because I spent so much time, I wasn't financially, it wasn't as rewarding as the group. Like the group, it was almost like sell out. I don't. It's funny. I don't have it one to myself.
It's all gone.
The people, even people till yesterday, somebody was still asking, yeah, it's all gone. And I said, no, I don't want to do. I wanted something more. I think art has to be very universal.
It has to.
And you can't force your own universality or your own on people. It is what it has to be acceptable. Like look
Yes.
at what Wole Olufemi did. It is something that it has to just be
Very
acceptable.
universal. Yes.
It's something that just have to have acceptance. No, it's not how well you can paint. That is what I was thinking. So
yes.
I said I want to break into a better international scope. I mean landscape.
Yeah.
So that was why what I've been doing for the past 2-3 years now. So I'm trying to reform myself and
exactly. And
to
as
rebuild
part of
myself,
that,
to
as
position
part of that
myself.
story, you delved into black faces. It's very intriguing when I see these two pieces. I mean, how technically you were able to even achieve the black face. It's next to impossible how you can actually achieve that. But technically, you've been able to do that. And what's the story behind these? I understand you call them, is it identity or something?
Yeah, there are two. If I could see, this one,
Yes.
this. If you remember, there's one of the ethnic ones that had the black faces.
Yes.
I remember when I was in Chicago, I talked about Abiola, and Abiola
So
came
this
from
one
a
on the left hand
science
side,
background,
it has the black
and he
faces.
will explain colors, and the colors, absence of, yeah, this one. You see, I started. I think that was 2016. I was doing the black with the ethnic thing,
That's
and
right.
so he would say that color. We're talking about going to stay in Chicago gave me an awareness of what do you call it? All this common word when you divide, people tend to like, oh, you are Nigerian, you're African, you're black, racism or something like that. I coming from Nigeria, I'm black, so I don't care.
Yeah.
So then he will explain to me that in pigment, in colors, black is the absence of color. So you could achieve.
That's right.
You could achieve black without actually using black. And the thing is that I don't use black.
Yeah.
Color is just an illusion. If you really look close, it's going to be more like a blue. But I can present it to you like it's black. And so, like I said, I'm a very technical person. So I went experimenting, and I wanted something more modern. I wanted this came before Wale came. I had the idea of the black one with that ethnic. So I when it came, I knew we were talking. We used to, like with Raji, we normally connect and talk. We discuss.
Yes.
So I wanted something like, I can take this thing in the ethnic and take it to be very modern, but more of this kind. And I wanted something. I wanted something that would tell our story in the now. In the now. I wanted to, which is like a general theme. You see somebody wants to say, "Oh, that girl is very beautiful." That guy, and why is it beautiful? Because she's fair.
Exactly.
So I wanted. I read the story of, is it Imal, the wife of Bowie, that when she had to make powder, you find out the black person can't find your color for your skin. So I just wanted to project blackness, and that black is not in that pigment of that black. So it was more of a technical narrative to me. It's a combination. Red, blue, yellow gives you that.
That's
the same way red, blue, yellow can give you can use to paint
almost
a white
everything.
person. The same red, blue, yellow can paint anything in the world. So that was that, and that got interesting to me. Like, oh my God,
And I think you
and the elegance of
brilliantly.
Naturally, I love to paint men more than women before.
Okay. Is there any particular reason? Do you actually? The question is, do you actually have models that you use, or you take pictures, or your just imagination? How do you go about it?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
I am a photographer.
Okay.
1998, I met somebody that introduced me, taught me photography. So I have like hundreds of thousands of pictures.
All right, references.
I have so many pictures. Seriously, I have pictures. I don't know. I have to me. I know, when you know that you have pictures.
Oh, yes.
So what I
When you
do,
know, you know.
like I told you, what I want is in my head already. What I want is in my head. So I get models, I get the costume, I get the exact. If I want like those ones that you showed, I didn't want somebody with hair. I just wanted something that is just blank.
That's it.
And to me,
These ones
there
very
can be a
just.
kind of beauty to that,
Right.
without your hair, without anything, without this. The one on the one seated is the one seated with the blue is a commission
Yes.
piece. Somebody saw it and like no, and yesterday she was showing me the way it's a large work, it's 6 by 6,
Oh, okay.
and she wanted the one with the ethnic initially.
Right.
These are commission pieces when they are very large, and like
That's it.
no, eventually said no, I want this one too, and gradually I see Nigerians start accepting. A lot of them have been accepting. Oh
Mm.
no, no, we want that. We want the black. We want the black face. We want the black face. And I say, look, I'm moving from that black face to
Into a
there's a
different.
twist in that now. They have a better narrative, which is very interesting to me now, which is my next show,
Right.
which is so I tell them so that is it.
So they have to. I mean, these pieces are very, very, very
Oh,
realistic
this
to
one with
me.
the red, this
I
was
love them.
a serious hit.
That is a serious one. That's a serious piece.
And texture
Mm.
came in. I wasn't putting texture before.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of, I didn't like texture. I didn't like the idea of texture because I
Okay.
was like, how do I put texture? My painting is flat. How do I put texture? Kind of by experimenting, and I kind of enjoy the texture has a kind of depth. In painting, you have the positive image, then you have your
Yes.
negative image. And
Yes.
most of the time is that you focus more on your positive image. The
Exactly.
positive image, which is the image, which is the thing you are painting. Let's say it's a
And then the
painting.
negative.
Let's say it's a
Yeah.
portrait. That portrait you are painting, that's
Yes.
your positive image. Forgetting the negative image. The negative image is as much important as the
As
positive
the
image.
positive.
So
That's true.
so playing with that, you could have an abstract.
Mm-hmm.
You could have abstract over a realistic work. So I didn't want to. I forget about the space, time, and everything. Just put something and see I
Yes.
can just make the two work together. So the texture, just put the red as the red, yellow as it
As
is,
red.
put the white as it is.
Green as
So
green.
and it's kind of it. Yeah, it's I love it. Because I'm a technical person, so I understand. I can analyze the painting. I can do that.
Right. So now let's start talking about the future. But before then, I just went online, Googled your name, and so many paintings just came up. I mean, do you even keep count of the number of paintings that you've done?
I do, but I don't know the number.
Wow.
The funny thing,
Yeah.
like Wale knows me very well. I have more paintings that are unfinished that I got dissatisfied with. I
Okay.
have tons
Okay.
of them.
Okay.
One time we counted about 250.
What?
Because when I'm painting and yeah, I have a lot of them. I have different sizes.
Wow.
I'm doing work and I'm not satisfied. I just
You just put it on the side.
put it aside. One time I even found some.
The
I have a lot of them. Like
life of an
that is
artist.
just I just put on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not I don't like this one.
That's it. And then you just
But it's
come up
changing
with
now.
a new idea.
I
Yeah.
don't
Life changes.
think I do that.
So would you say that you've actually evolved from who you were when you started till now? Your has your style changed?
Technically, I don't think so.
Okay.
I've always used primary colors, red, blue,
Right.
yellow.
That's
I've
it.
tried once to use earth tones,
Yeah.
but it's not earth tone is not my thing. No, I can infuse very, very, very rarely, but
Yeah.
I can achieve the same with. You can achieve anything with the three primary
With the
colors,
three
but all
colors.
you need to do is to have different shades
Exactly.
of the
Exactly.
colors, so
Of
you can
them.
achieve.
So technically, you've not really changed. Your color palette has not changed. But then is it the storytelling aspect or
No,
the
I'm
the
still learning
subject?
more.
That's what's changed.
Oh, it's more. I have gained. Yeah, it's changed. It's
All
changed.
right. No, that's amazing. That's
It's
amazing.
it's more global now. I want something
Yes.
that cuts
More
across.
global.
Yeah.
So talking about global, when you see your name in these big auction houses like Bonham, Sotheby's, Mutual Arts, how does it make you feel? Did you get the question? The question was, when you see your names in these big auction houses, how does it make you feel? Can you hear me? Okay, so I don't think you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know if you can hear me. Ebenezer, can you hear me? Hi, Ebenezer. Can you hear me? I don't think Ebenezer can hear us. Ebenezer, can you hear me? Okay. So there's a bit of noise in the background from Ebenezer's side, but I do not think you can hear me. Can you hear me? What I'm going to do is I will let Ebenezer join us again. I'll call him for him to join us again because I don't think he can hear us now. But at the moment, Ebenezer is all over the world. His works are being sold in Bonhams, Sotheby's, Mutual Art, and most of the auction houses. He's achieved a lot. But one last thing that I would like Ebenezer to tell us about is what's for the future, where his art is actually going. And it will be an interesting conversation. So I will call him. I think Ebenezer is joining. But as soon as he joins, yes. Right. He is joining now. Ebenezer, can you hear us now?
Yes, now.
Good. I mean, where we are at the moment, I'd like you to tell us about where your art is going in the future. I know you've got something big coming up in Europe, and I'm just going to show these two images. Is this where the future is going with yourself? I think one
You
of
know,
them is
the funny, the one, yeah, this is the future. But that's one where I'm standing. You know, somebody had come to like, and he just came like, I must have this painting. I'd not even finished the painting. So
okay.
this is what I'm working on is called hidden identity.
Right.
It's a general story. It's a general theme. I don't think I should let
The whole world
out
know
so much
everything.
right now.
Yes.
But you know, you see that there's a twist now.
Yes.
And I love the story. The story I got it was we were in Venice when I got this idea came. That is the future now.
Amazing. That is the future now. And my friend Ben Abe from Ghana, a very brilliant artist, says congratulations. I think you've done a great job. Bishop also says, and I'll put Bishop on here, your story shows that there's enough in whatever God called you into to make you great. So more doors for you in the utmost part of the world. Thank you, Bishop. These are powerful statements from Bishop.
Amen.
And have you got any last words for up and coming artists? Because we need to start thinking about the future. I know you've mentored a lot of artists, but up and coming artists who want to break through, because I believe Black art is so important to the rest of the world. And back in the days when they said that, oh, we are not technically gifted, we just paint stick men and we are not, up there. Now the whole world is now looking back into the continent of Africa and they're looking at Black art from a different perspective. Have you got any words for us as to how we can project and tell our stories properly?
Okay, I hope I got the question, but there's something I want to say about the picture that you showed. You see, in that, if you look at the painting, one of the things that I love about what I'm doing right now is my colors become direct.
Yes.
I could have red for my positive and red for my negative, which is
that's right.
Some time ago I wouldn't think about. You know, that I could have my colors become stronger. I remember somebody had told me, once colors are, there is this thing about Jack, it suggests a kind of boldness,
Yes.
as opposed to what there is a lot to talk about the colors, the red, the black, the texture. And when it comes to application, when it's in the studio, initially I was finding it very difficult, but somehow I just love it. Even look at your phone, look at what the iPhones can do. Look at the phones of before. Look at the colors. The colors will come as vivid as they could be. It's very exciting to me. You just have, it's either you love it or you hate it. The colors are
you hate it
right there.
Yeah.
Just straight from the tube, boom, from your face. So,
but let's talk about, because when you start using the impasto type technique, you're using oils. And how long does it take for you to finish a piece? Because I know oil takes a bit of time to dry. Did you catch the question? So oil takes a bit of time to dry. So when you start painting these thick backgrounds and the rest, using the impasto technique, how long does a painting take in this new approach?
Yeah, the thing is that my positive image is still with my brush, which I love. I don't like to use brush, but it's a positive space that I use. But what I do, I hardly start a painting and finish it.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever done that.
All right.
So what I do, I could have like 10 at the same time. I could have a painting 6 months ago. Then I'll be working on. Sometimes I'll put alarm. I put a time.
Yes.
I work on this 2 hours work, so I keep changing, and I normally wait until the last. I'll work it like 90%. If you come to the studio, the works at 90% because the inspiration, that final stage is very important.
Yes.
Like when I'm starting a painting, I can just be free. I'm fast.
That's right.
I'm just fast. But when it comes to that finish, that's when I begin to just draw back a little bit. I want to put so I can't really put a time frame.
Yes.
But I think I'm not too slow. But some time ago I got stuck with colors because I changed when like the colors I use, I could know if I'm using cadmium red, I know what cadmium red is going to give me by tomorrow.
Okay.
Colors change. You put this color today. When I started out painting, that was the thing. I don't know, maybe somehow there's gonna be a little change in the color.
That's right.
By the time you start mixing complementary colors, so I could know. So I know this is phthalo blue. I know what phthalo blue is going to give me. This is cerulean blue. I know what. So, but I can't put a time frame. I don't know. I don't really know how long it takes me to finish.
No, that's great.
Not too
long. Yes.
But no, not like I'll do it amazing. No.
Your works are amazing.
Thank you so much.
I thank you so much for the role that you've played. But I'll go back to my last question. What have you got to tell, let's say, up and coming young artists who not only want to break it onto the international market, but the advice that you can give them to tell the African story or the Black story really well?
I don't know. One thing is that, see, now there are so many opportunities. There are so many. Or like when I was starting, I'll put a canvas in front of me. I have to pray. I don't even know. But more like try by error. Okay, let me try it. Let me put this red. Let me put this. But now the opportunities are there.
Yeah.
The opportunities are there. Maybe somehow when the opportunity, because I've had to tutor a lot. Maybe people find it so easy. There is this, it's easy, now it's difficult again. I don't understand because it's so easy. People could paint what people could not paint 15 years ago because of leverage. You've seen it. So I think that Nigerian artists should, most of the young people now, they want to sell abroad. Yeah, it's good to sell abroad, but I think it's good to be relevant.
Yes.
Like we had this issue Will you sell your painting? If you want to sell your painting in London, you sell your painting, let's say £5,000 London, then you sell Nigeria £2,000. And I said, no. If it is £2,000, it's universal. If it's £2,000, you can sell in Nigeria, £2,000 in London. So that is what I think. So if it's 10,000, then I'll sell 10,000 there.
Exactly.
People can. So in as much as possible, try to be relevant at home. I think it's very important. But if it doesn't work for you that way, no problem. But I think like I could sell my work here.
That's right.
The same price I could sell it
abroad.
So it is not the number of the sales that is the quality. Like we all know, it is not how many you sell, it's who buys your work. It's very important.
Exactly. But we thank you so much. If people want to contact you to get your work, is it through your Facebook, Instagram? I mean, I've put your details on there. On Instagram, you are Ebenezer Akinola.
Yeah, Instagram.
Facebook. If they type in your name, definitely you will show up. And is that how they can actually just get a piece of your work? Is that how they can contact you to get a piece of your work?
Yeah, Instagram. Yeah, fantastic.
Good. Instagram is a good one. Okay, I've got 2 comments that have come through. Yeah. Let me read them. There's a comment from Yomi Momo Oluyomi. Mr. Akinola Ebenezer is a passionate painter. Great. He is sharing his art and techniques here. He has never been helpful to fellow artists. He has ever been helpful to fellow artists as well as up-and-coming artists. So these are testimonies that are coming through. There's congratulations from Amuzat Zainab and congratulations from Bishop again. So these are testament of the great work that you're doing in our community. And I personally want to thank you for making the time to talk to us about your technique and your art. By the way, I love the paintings behind you. I can't stop saying that. They are beautiful. And I think we are all looking forward to the future works that you are going to bring in the marketplace.
I didn't get you.
I was thanking you and saying that we are looking forward to the future work that you are bringing in the
marketplace. Oh, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited.
Good.
I'm excited.
Good. But thank you so much for this interview and thank you for your time once again.
My pleasure.
Great.
And thank for what you are doing. A fantastic job.
You're welcome.
No,
You're
very
welcome.
Fantastic job. I must commend.
Thank you. Great. So we'll catch up I don't think this will be the last interview. As soon as the new work comes, definitely we'll catch up again. God bless you.
No, we'll see you in Ghana.
Exactly. We'll see you in Ghana.
Or in UK. Okay, I wouldn't be making a UK trip now.
Soon. But you'll be in Spain very shortly, I think. All right, then. So God bless you, and we'll speak in the back door. So that was Ebenezer. Thank you so much, Ebenezer, for your time, and God bless you for that. So, guys, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for hanging around. If you want to see more interviews, definitely I've got more for you. Every single Saturday, if you go on my YouTube page, you see all the artists that I've been interviewing over the weeks from all over the world. If you have suggestions of an artist that you want me to interview as well, put it in the comment box or put it in the comment in my YouTube channel, and definitely I'll make contact with the artist and bring them live on here. But type in African Art with Eric on YouTube, I'll come up. Do well to subscribe, and let's have fun with creativity. Happy Easter, enjoy the holidays, and God bless you. Let's have a good week.